just a short video here about Greece. I'm sure some of you have already seen it. So let's play a little bit of it, then have a little chat about it.
Say that time is money, but for a country where cash is now in short supply, time has taken on a whole different value.
In the Time Bank, we exchange voluntary services. Sometimes I give painting lessons for free, but I take yoga for free also. Somebody else is teaching yoga.
The Time Bank's just one of a growing number of service swapping alternatives that are providing people in Greece another way to cope with the tough economic conditions. Services can include anything from language classes to babysitting or home-cooked meals.
It's huge. It's huge. It's everything we do without money, like looking after people or making things by ourselves.
For a country in crisis, building social unity can prove extremely hard.
Crisis is a terrible thing. It creates fear. It divides people from public sector workers from private sector workers. It divides richer workers to poorer workers, immigrant workers from home workers, and that's a terrible thing.
But the barter networks have been a great way of bringing together large groups of people. A popular slogan here in Greece now is "No one's alone in the crisis." Organisations are arranging swap shops to exchange clothes, and one town in Greece has even started its own barter currency.
We still have the memory of agricultural society in Greece, where people used to do things together, like they would do the olive trees of my family.
I think you get the point. And as you can see there, Greece has resorted to a barter society, and this was released before the so-called referendum, where the Greek PM was flirting with the Greek people, as in giving them a referendum, a chance to vote whether to be slaves for the rest of their lives or not. And obviously, as we've seen today, there is going to be no referendum. It's a communist country like everywhere else. Whether it was GPAP, as he's known as, George Papandreou, whatever his name is, whether he was serious about a referendum, I couldn't see it from the start. And then you had Sarkozy and Merkel, German and French, going crazy. And then we had obviously the G20, and they basically put a gun to his head and says, "No way, this ain't happening. We're keeping this Ponzi scheme going as long as we can." So there will be no referendum. People have no rights. It's a communist world, as you can say. There is no freedom. People of Greece will be slaves, will be government slaves, and as you can see, they've resorted to bartering. And I was thinking about it. First, I was thinking, wow! Imagine if you had gold and silver. What would your purchasing power be like? But even still, I don't think if people had gold and silver, they'll try to barter with it. I still think the general public, the masses, are asleep, and if someone in Greece is trying to barter with the gold and silver, they would have a hard time, I think. I don't think we're going to see crazy purchasing power in gold and silver until it's all over the media, like, properly. I don't live in Greece. I'm not in Athens. I don't know if they're saying it's good, if their mainstream media is saying it's good to have gold and silver. You'll have purchasing power. I doubt it very much. Their mainstream media will be in favour of the fiat, which is keeping them afloat, I'm sure, in their banks. So they'll be keeping that quiet, and it's just a great shame, really. It's a communist nation. Britain's the same. America's the same. People don't have the right. They just get told what to do. You will be slaves. You won't have a right to vote on these bailouts, and it's just sad, really. but still a long way for gold and silver to be recognised globally. As you can see there, obviously people swapping paintings for food and clothes and stuff, but if someone was holding 500 ounces of silver or 100 ounces of gold, would they have massive purchasing power in Greece? In amongst the normal people, as you like to say, the sheeple? I don't think so. They probably still look at an ounce of gold like, what's that? What do you want me to do with that? So, still a long way to go. Yeah. And obviously the Greeks and the French, the Italians and Germans, they wouldn't allow the referendum. If there was a referendum and the Greek people did have the right to vote, I think George Papandreou would find a bullet in his head, because they need to keep this Ponzi scheme going, and obviously contagion. If Greece defaults, it's only a matter of time before we all go. But they're going to keep it going a bit longer. As I say, I've not looked at the precious metals price, but as I say, it's going to be a long, slow death by 1,000 cuts. And obviously we had the Fed yesterday. I didn't even watch Ben Bernanke's speech, but obviously he's doing everything he can to not mention the infamous quantitative easing, but it doesn't matter. You know what's going on. So keep focused, and as it says, the precious metals are a good investment. I said in my last video, I love gold and silver, or why I love silver. I don't obviously love it, but I'll keep investing in silver because I don't want fiat. We've already had quantitative easing announced in the UK, so I'm not saving that paper in my bank account, whereas people are just printing it out of nothing, and we're going to have inflation and all that. So I'm starting to ramble a little bit, so I'll get off. Peace.